Legal measures against harassment. 1. Gather evidence. In blog of the video description you have how. 2nd. Report. Face-to-face, cybernetically. Phone. 3. Before the denial of complaint or the file, draw up the minutes before a notary public. In several countries, the content of the notarial acts is the verification of facts or the perception that the notary has of them, provided that due to their nature they cannot be classified as acts and contracts, as well as their judgments and qualifications. Article 144 of the Notary Regulations. 4. Along with all the above, send letters at each political headquarters, King or Republic, representative, international authorities, ombudsman, local presidents, state. Each of those involved.
Interest. ACCION reports. The European Public Prosecutor's Office Against Corruption has just come into operation. Until internal communication channels are developed in each of the member states, whistleblowers may transfer their complaints to the European Public Prosecutor's Office through OLAF, European Anti-Fraud Office, in 2 different ways. Online, through the fraud notification system, anonymous reporting, with transmission of documents over secure connection network, https://fns.olaf.europa.eu. Online, through a web form, the complaint is not anonymous, that is, you have to communicate the first and last name, and the email address, without the possibility of transmitting documents, https://ec.europa.eu/anti-fraud/contact/fraud-reporting-form_es. Publications 5 comments. Interest. Decalogue of the Corruption Whistleblower. ACCION practical tips. When you report corruption, you're exercising your fundamental right to freedom of expression and information. As a whistleblower, you can choose how to make communication: A. Anonymously, using internal channels where available. B. In front of the media. C. Identifying himself before the police, the prosecution, the CGPJ, or the courthouse on duty. Retaliation is prohibited when carried out by abusing administrative and judicial procedures to prevent or impede investigations by bringing complaints or claims against the complainant/corruption alerter. They may also constitute a crime. Any allegation or corruption alert you make must result in an investigation. No complaint or claim against you as a whistleblower/anti-corruption alerter may have the effect of suspending such mandatory investigations. The interruption, suspension, paralysis, or filing of corruption investigations due to the filing of a complaint or lawsuit against the complainant/alerter will also be considered as retaliation. The whistleblower/alerter, who is investigated or prosecuted for crimes of insults or slander in retaliation, should not be required to prove the truth of his allegations. In such a case, you only have the burden of justifying your status as a whistleblower or corruption alerter. No whistleblower or alerter may be warned, threatened, punished, or convicted as a result of your information on corruption. Retaliation carried out through judicial proceedings may be reported disciplinarily to the General Counsel of the Judiciary, or even in criminal proceedings. Anyone who has recruited judges who have been denounced for acts of retaliation or corruption will be injuriating the fundamental right to effective protection and should not be penalized. The EU Directive of 23 October 2019 on the protection of persons reporting infringements of EU law is of direct application as to the fundamental rights it contains. Your right to freedom of expression and information as a whistleblower/anti-corruption alerter binds all public authorities. Judges and magistrates are obliged to protect whistleblowers/alerters who are party to any judicial proceeding in accordance with Article 53.2 of the Spanish Constitution, without waiting for the transposition of the directive.
Las actas notariales tienen como contenido
La constatación de hechos o la percepción que de los mismos tenga el notario, siempre que por su índole no puedan calificarse de actos y contratos, así como sus juicios y calificaciones. Artículo 100. Images. News. Videos. Maps. Notary acts.
Legal measures against harassment. 1. Gather evidence. In blog of the video description you have how. 2nd report. Face-to-face cybernetically phone. 3. Before the denial of complaint or the file draw up the minutes before a notary public. In several countries, the content of the notarial acts is the verification of facts or the perception that the notary has of them, provided that due to their nature they cannot be classified as acts and contracts, as well as their judgments and qualifications. Article 144 of the Notary Regulations. 4. Along with all the above, send letters at each political headquarters, King or Republic representative, international authorities, ombudsman, local presidents, state. Each of those involved,